Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. There's some changes that have happened over the past several months. It's been a while since I've uploaded any vlog or photo sharing video or anything like that. I'm trying to teach myself little bit by little bit how to you know, do stuff in CapCut or what other Majora, whatever it's called. Hold on, I'm brain farting. Filmora, that's what it is. Basically trying to make like videos and stuff like that. And I'm a slow learner, I'll admit. But in the meantime, I rebranded as well. I no longer am going by Enduring Depictions. Still on Facebook though, which for some reason I think it's because I have too many likes to change my display name on Facebook. So I'm still stuck as Enduring Depictions on Facebook, except for my URL. I go by Crestwood Photography now for like my photography business side of things. But on social media, it is Clickwitch. I just, whatever. Good times. Um, ADHD is a bitch sometimes, and I go through these periods where I want to do little identity, where I'm having a little identity crisis, and I had one, but this one seems to be sticking. And Crestwood Photography, I feel very content with, for lack of a better way of putting it. The most content I have ever felt about a photography brand name for myself personally. So today, now that spring has finally freaking arrived, finally, the flowers are starting to bloom. And I am so freaking excited because I've been kind of battling, teetering just a little bit on some late seasonal depression or depression in general. Don't know. Not going to get into it. But now that the sun is shining more and the flowers are blooming, and I happen to be a big fan of nature photography, I love photographing flowers. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And especially when like I can get dewdrops or raindrops on the petals and photograph and like focus and photograph the raindrops themselves with my macro lens. Oh, it brings me a special form of peace. I love doing it. I love photographing flowers and just now that they're finally here, I'm just like happiness. So I figured I would come on here and edit a or re-edit one of the photos that I photographed. Yeah, I can talk today. One of the photos that I took earlier of a daffodil. I think this is a daffodil. Um, where I live, it's a tiny little village out in the middle of nowhere, and then we're kind of surrounded by, if it's not woods, it's farmland. But there is like a slew of wildflowers that bloom like all throughout the village, and one of the businesses will hire a gardener to like plant certain things, and you can almost tell, actually you can tell, but based on like what flowers I'm photographing, like what time of year it is, other than based on the freaking date that I share or took the photos. If you look in the metadata, I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. But anyway, um, no, I love photographing flowers, and now that they're starting to bloom, I'm just like, yes, yes, spring is here. So anyway, we're gonna sit and re-edit the photo of a daffodil. And the first edit that I did of this, there's kind of like a vintage vibe going with the original edit that I did, but I am a avid, I don't want to say avid user, but I do love me a good preset that just really makes it, that really brings a photo to life, you know. Um, I have a bunch of different presets that I have purchased or downloaded or whatever. Um, Actually, I think I'm gonna go with Woodland Preset Cyan Dawn 3, but and I am capable of editing by myself. But I remember posting on Substack way back when, and I'm like, what are you guys' take on presets? And it's like, if it gets the job done, who gives a shit? And I'm like, that's kind of my thought process too. Like, I presets kind of, they give me a good starting point with my edits. And honestly, sometimes I've come across a preset that made me go, oh shit, this really makes this photo pop. How can I make it slightly better? At the very least, slightly better. And this one, the clarity isn't up high enough. That's a little too high. And then I am going to beef up the texture a little bit. So I've got clarity up at positive 20 and texture up at positive 15. I think I'm going to bring the blacks up a bit. That's up a little too much. Let me see what the whites are going to do if I bring them down. Too much. Too much. Okay, so from here, that's the before, this is the after. I like it, but it needs a vignette because, is that very, there we go. Okay, sorry, my Lightroom was being slow. I think I'm also going to raise the vibrance a little bit on this, but lower the saturation. There we go. Okay. Okay. So, and if you are a 90s kid, you probably caught that reference. Anywho, let me see here. I also am, while I have your attention, even though I doubt, but whatever, I'm going to ramble a little bit. While you're here, besides the Facebook, the Instagram, the email, and the YouTube, I am working on a witchy themed podcast. It's called Snark and Sigil Craft. That is a mouthful to say. It's in the works. I have a couple short episodes created right now, but it's just basically covering like the witchy side of the shit that I do, and bits and pieces of my practice and whatnot. So we're on there. We're working on that, and yeah. So from here, let me look at the before and after again. I like this, but I'm going to, do I want that one, or do I actually want a different preset? I think I'm going to actually do 3 different versions of this. What I am going to do, though, is check and see if there's a treatment that I want to add to it. I like that, actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to export this. And then we're going to do another edit. Surprise, you get 2 edits today instead of 1. Haha. I think the texture, I don't need it up that high. I will definitely crank up the clarity and the texture in a nature photo, especially if it's like of raindrops or the close-up of a flower petal and you can see the different detail to it. It's like, oh my god. Sometimes catching that little snippet of detail just in nature, it's just, I don't know, it takes me to a place that I appreciate. So, but yeah, from here, this edit is fine. So it didn't take much, and we're gonna go from there. Alrighty, well, while that's exporting, I appreciate you stopping by. I'll try and be a little bit more entertaining, or at least narrate. I need to get back into live streaming too, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, there's a lot that I'm working on in the background, trying to like break the espresso depresso and try and like get creative again because spring is here. The weather is changing. Good times are abound. So, anyway, hope you have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.